And kicking off our top 24 elimination bracket here uh, is the number one seed, surprisingly getting knocked down by Blackwing in a massive upset against Gridman, who's looking to continue that upset with back-to-back Udas against Calypso. Gridman's starting in the lowers bracket, looking to make a big run. Has taken out Sunfire and Social Parasite in the last chance qualifier, then moving on to defeat Roulette XS. And has thus far been controlling the match well here against Calypso. Although, Gridman does not have the strongest armor and will need to continue doing well to avoid that big horizontal blade. Pushing it further towards that low Uda wall. Not quite able to get underneath and hoist it over, though, as it'll continue with this danger close strategy against Calypso once more, moving it towards that barrier, but just going up and down. And can we see the number one seed going out here? Yes, we will! Gridman, huge upset. We'll move on. Two similarly designed robots of Queen starting from the lowers bracket versus Yelini, who is just knocked down in the lowers bracket, effectively being punished for giving us the worst match HFT has seen so far with Attendant coming away with the split decision victory. Right now, this has already been much more eventful of a match. Queen has managed to destabilize Yelini a bit, but Yelini still in control of this match, throwing Queen up against that barrier and dealing some huge hits to the chassis. Queen will want to right itself, get that powerful drive on the floor, but Yelini unrelenting with another crucial hit onto that body of Queen. And already Yelini has ripped away any hopes from Queen. Next up, we have the number 4 seed, Ultimate Anxiety, going up against Fractured Diamond. Ultimate Anxiety being defeated by a very unstable but deadly Captain Safeguard. Ultimate Anxiety already in perfect control of this match, but with a bit of a lackluster flip, isn't quite able to get Fractured Diamond over the wall, despite already being in a good position to do so. Fractured Diamond needs to get away from this situation, or it will be dispatched of swiftly. Fractured Diamond, instead of going over the wall, getting pushed into that big spinner, just hurling itself across that arena floor. Although we haven't seen the strongest flips from Ultimate Anxiety so far, it's definitely been able to shove Fractured Diamond all around the arena. Now trying to slam it up against that big hammer. It'll need to be careful not to take some hits itself, as Fractured Diamond swings back right onto that big wedge of Ultimate Anxiety, who is being cautious here not to steer itself down the pit. We'll try to throw Fractured Diamond down there from long range, and Fractured Diamond spins away so far to fight another day. Minute elapsed, and Fractured Diamond has gotten, well, briefly around the backside of Ultimate Anxiety, who once more tries to throw it down the pit, and now will be successful in doing so. Next up, we have Vlad the Penetrator, the number 5 seed, going up against Yellow Heart 2. We've already seen one huge upset with our number 1 seed Calypso being dispatched by SSS Gridman. We'll see if Gridman's teammate in Yellowheart can also pull off an upset with a loser's bracket run here. So far, it's done well to keep Vlad the Penetrator from really gearing up some big rams, which has been Vlad the Penetrator's strength. Instead, just chipping Vlad the Penetrator into that arena hazard, and now is throwing it across the arena. Vlad the Penetrator hasn't taken a whole lot of damage since the spinner of the arena starts off relatively slow and spins faster as the fight ticks on. Instead, Yellowheart will try to steer Vlad the Penetrator over towards that big hammer. So we've seen it do some pretty heavy damage to Vlad the Penetrator in its previous fight, which it lost to Heartbreaker. Yellowheart, another heart, trying to push Vlad the Penetrator over towards that low wall. The two machines will separate. Vlad the Penetrator almost getting around Yellowheart, but Yellowheart instead will take Vlad the Penetrator for a ram across the arena, slamming him up against the wall, popping him up, and will go on and keep pushing him. Maybe trying to go for a pin up against this low wall here. There's a good thrust there, and if Yellowheart leaves him alone, might be able to just pin him up against that wall. Instead, it's looking like, instead of taking things to chance, he wants to lift him up over the wall. But that's not going to happen quite yet, as Vlad the Penetrator will get away for now, with half of this match already expiring. Hasn't been the most eventful matchup so far, with Yellowheart just trying to make sure that Vlad the Penetrator doesn't get any big rams off with those two hefty spears. Now bring him back towards that arena spinner, maybe trying to hoist him over the wall once again, but it's kind of just connecting with the front end of Vlad the Penetrator. Not really getting any leverage underneath that body until Vlad the Penetrator just rolls right over him there. We'll have to see where Yellowheart takes him next. Maybe going for that low wall once again. Vlad the Penetrator rolling over Yellowheart, who backs right up into him, slamming him up against that wall. So Vlad the Penetrator would like to be doing this match, but instead, Yellowheart, ever tenacious, trying to push him underneath and get into that pit, and will do so. Number 5 seed goes kaput. Next we have the number 2 seed in Anthropology 2 up against Berserker 3, looking to make that loser's bracket run. Oh, a huge hit with the hammer, but it looks like it kind of messed itself up more than it did to Anthropology 2, who's come out a bit sluggish this match, but oh, another huge swing from Berserker 3, who's really firing on all cylinders, trying to be as aggressive as possible, maybe trying to finish this fight off as quickly as it can without taking too much damage from that deadly disc of Anthropology 2. Oh, and he snaps off that axe of Berserker 3. The durability will now be tested, as it's been relegated to just a wedge. Anthropology 2 is a bit difficult to get a firm beat on here with its long, lanky design, but here's some huge hits, courtesy of the hammer. Berserker 3 doesn't even need an axe to get some good swings onto Anthropology 2. Anthropology 2, though, gets another strong hit there with that disc. We'll have to see how much longer Berserker 3 can take these huge hits as it gets swung into that hammer. A minute remaining in this fight. Berserker 3 mostly in control, but Anthropology 2 has dealt a lethal amount of damage. Now I've got Hype matching off against that Tribar-esque spinner of Tillicum Arc 2. Both robots have gotten some pretty good hits on each other so far, with Hype being more controlled. Had Telecom in a good position at first, but the two will meet off once again in the middle of the arena. Telecom getting some good hits together on Hype before Hype throws Telecom up into the air and into that hammer. Dealing some pretty strong damage there, sending Telecom hurling through the air once again. We'll see which robot is first to fall here, as I highly doubt it'll be going to a judge's decision, with both machines coming off swinging right out of the starting gate. Another good hit from Hype, chipping away at the back of Telecom, exactly where he wants to get those hits. Staying away from that deadly tri-bar better than it has in the beginning of the match. Chipping away at the side of Telecom, doing some damage. Telecom back again with that spinner onto the side of Hype, but Hype taking him across the arena again, chipping away at the back, and combines with a lethal hit from the hammer to move on. I've got the number 3 seed in Hurricane 3 matching up against Anthracite, who also started in the upper bracket of this tournament, but has been rather lackluster so far. Oh, and Hurricane 3 has got him right where he wants him, despite a good start from Anthracite in this fight. It's kind of a horrible weapon type for Anthracite to match up against, as we've already seen with Punterator. Punterator knocking out Anthracite and Hurricane 3 in that order. Anthracite now sending our number 3 seed through the air, and it will continue to do so. Oh, Hurricane 3 wheeling itself into that arena wall. Anthracite now edging it closer to that low wall, but for now missing its opportunity to get over the wall, looking a little bit dazed. Hurricane 3 not able to string any solid hits together against Anthracite, but as we've seen already, those little chip shots can match up, or add up rather. Hurricane 3, it looks like it has the drive power to shove Anthracite back, but it's just not getting enough traction really on the floor to push it anywhere. Anthracite will use that flipper to slam it back against the wall and over into that hammer, who delivers a big hit on Hurricane 3. Anthracite trying to hoist it over that wall, but the contact with the spinner will protect Hurricane 3 for now, but Anthracite is relentless, trying once more, but with that large design of Hurricane 3, it's just hard to get underneath and vault it over that arena low wall. A little under half the fight remaining. Anthracite holding up well thus far against Hurricane 3, who has not really been able to string together any big hits. Now might be a good chance to do so, but Anthracite defending well, pushing Hurricane 3 over into that big arena spinner. Now Hurricane 3 is getting some good hits together and has been damaging that top armor of Anthracite, just ripping right into it. Digging in, getting some traction with those big wheels, pushing Anthracite back, avoiding a date with the spinner. Anthracite continuing to try to push forth, but the effectiveness of that flipper has been hampered from the damage it has sustained by Hurricane 3. Hurricane 3 pushing back now against Anthracite. Just how much damage has Hurricane 3 done to Anthracite? And can it disable that robot before it has a chance at going to a judge's decision? And our last fight in the top 24 elimination round. We have two vertical spinners looking to make a loser's bracket run. Vulgaris versus Mean Streak. Vulgaris off to a great start here with Mean Streak maybe starting off a little too strong here. Vulgaris already has the previous record defeating Colin in only 22 seconds, and it might have another speed run here